Hi everyone, nice you're watching. Today I have a special guest, and this is Richard. And Richard is he's an American living in Japan and working in Hawaii, if I'm correct. Hi, Richard.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes, that's correct. Aloha, everyone. Richard here
If
in
you
Nagoya, Japan.
So if you feel like asking Richard any questions, you can leave any messages in the live chat. We can see them. So, Richard, how has it been for you with this whole lockdown, Corona kind of story? How has it been for you in Japan, and how has it been for your family and for your work? I mean, it's a bit maybe many questions, but
Yeah, yeah, that's a multi-layered question because there's different ways for it. But in Japan, I've been very impressed how the government had really handled everything so nicely. They asked the people to volunteer to cooperate. It wasn't like in America, maybe in Europe as well, where they locked down. The government was ordering you to stay home, and they were ordering you to wear masks. They were ordering you to do this and that. In Japan, they said it's all voluntary basis. So, and the businesses that were able to shut down during the time, they were able to, and the ones who couldn't afford to, the government let them continue working, of course, using precautions. So I give Japan a really amazing hand that there was no pressures at all during the whole process. And now, as of today, the emergency declaration is removed, and we're all about freely moving about and doing whatever we wish to do. So Japan is really amazing, and I'm glad that I was here during this crisis and not anywhere else in the world because it's been real easy for us.
yeah. So
So,
how was it on the streets? How was it? How was that?
well, yeah. I mean, first of all, Japan has a population of about 140 million people, and there's not only, I mean, God bless their souls, but about 700 deaths in the country. And so it's really small compared to the other numbers around the world. And I think because Japan, they're already really on the hygiene thing. They wear masks anyway in the wintertime, a lot of people, and every store or restaurant you go to, they already have a pump, alcohol pumped in front of the store. So the Japanese are already very, very familiar. They're very sensitive about germs and viruses. So they were already on their game. So when it happened, it's like they were pretty much doing what they normally do. It wasn't that foreign for them. And it was for me as American because, I've never worn a mask in my whole life, so it felt quite strange. But, and actually, it wasn't even mandatory. They asked, like I said, they asked us if we could, and because constitutionally, they weren't allowed to force anything on us. They gave the choice to us as an adult, which is really amazing. So they handled the crisis very well. Everything's back to normal. On the other hand, my business is in Hawaii. We were forced to close down 2 months ago, and the governor in Hawaii still says there's still kind of lockdown, semi-lockdown, and our business, there's no window of when we will return. And
Oh,
tourism is probably the last tier of business that will return around the world because all the borders are shut down right now. So my company and 50 employees, we've been out of work for 2 months and maybe 2 or 3 months more. We don't know. So it's
wow.
been challenging, for us at that level.
Yeah,
But
what kind of work you do with your people?
yeah, we have a very unique business. We've been doing this for 30 years. We take people out to swim with wild dolphins in the ocean,
Oh, wow.
not captive dolphins, and we do dolphin swimming. We take people to nature hikes in the mountains and waterfalls. We travel around the island, and we basically everything that people can't normally get themselves. We kind of escort them and give them a tour off the beaten trail, you could say.
Cool.
So yeah,
Sounds
so
wonderful.
we're we're Dolphins and You is the name of our entity, and like I said, we've been doing it 30 years, and we've been averaging 40 to 50,000 visitors a year in our tours alone. So very successful company, but unfortunately right now everyone's sleeping.
Yeah. It's how is this kind of unpaid holiday for you?
Yeah, for me personally, it's interesting because initially, of course, maybe for all of us, just a shock of not being able to do what we normally do. For the first week or so, 2 weeks, it's like I didn't know how to adjust or handle it, and of course, and then the media with all the fear, and it really like puts you in a place. But I went inside myself. I said, okay, there's only one place of safe for me, and that's to go in myself, to meditate, to pray, self-reflection, get into nature and really have a time to make my connection with spirit stronger than ever. And I'm coming out of this. I'm feeling great about life, and if this thing has not affected me, it's actually made me feel more connected to spirit than ever. So in that way, it's a blessing because we have plenty of time to meditate. We have plenty of time to read books that we normally don't have time for. We have plenty of time to go walk in the forest, So in that respect, it's from a spiritual perspective, it's been the best. From a financial, from a business perspective, it's not been so good, but from the other side, it's been awesome.
Yeah, so you're happy to have some time for introspection.
Exactly. Yeah, I've never spent this much time with my family ever, and it's like with my little boys from day to night. I have two boys, a 4-year-old and 8-year-old, and I get to be with them full on, and I cannot escape, So so it's been good though. It's been really really good, So I appreciate this special time, even though there is challenging times, but overall, I feel positive about it.
Yeah, wonderful. And how is it for your family in America?
Well, yeah, I think it's been a lot more challenging for them, and it depends on where you're at in America. If it's a blue state, I have family in various states, but where I'm from is Pennsylvania, and it's a Democratic state. They call it a blue state. So those states are still locked down. Most people cannot go to work, and there's no relief in sight. The governors keep extending outward, like, oh, it's another month, another 3 months. So, and I think it become very politicized. So, where the other states, where my mother is in Florida, on the other hand, they're freed up to do whatever they want to do now. Of this past week or two, the governor there said, you know what, we got to get on with our lives. We know this virus is dangerous, but we got to take precautionary measures, keep the elderly safe, and we got to get back to life. And everything in that state now is back to pretty much back to normal. So it really varies from state to state. My family, the Pennsylvania, they're just going crazy. They're stir crazy. They can't even go out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're gonna get arrested or get a ticket, or even for not wearing a mask, you can get a fine. It's like it's pretty crazy. So it's a little bit more destitute. For those states that are blue and the ones that are red, that are Republican states, they're kind of being more proactive in getting the economy back and people into the normal living, which is really good. And so it's a case by case situation depending where you're at. To answer your question.
Yeah, and how do you think this will be for the world economy or the world situation? How do you think it will change for people?
Well, those who are pulling the strings behind the curtain, they would like to get us to a place where we have a vaccine mandated through the world, where you can't even travel. You'd have to have a stamp, saying that you've been vaccinated. I think, if they get their way, ultimately that was, I believe, the goal of this whole pandemic was manufactured for the purpose of getting the global community on a vaccination. And but I don't think they're going to make it. I think that people are too strong and they're too smart, and I think the freedom of, the choice of free will, and I think, I already feel the underlying current where people are standing up saying, no, I'm not with that, So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but it really, for me, it really seems it's about the vaccination. It's about the control of getting everyone into this, into this set of, they have to be conform to this or not, So it's kind of like a divide, So I know personally, I'm not going to shoot anything in my body. I like being pure and clean, and they're going to have to tie me down if if it gets to that. But I don't think we're going to get to that. I think that everyone's already aware of what's going on, and there's been a lot of talk, on both sides. So I don't think they're going to get their way. Thank God, That's my opinion, anyways.
Yeah. And on your personal journey, where do you think that you how do you think it will develop for you? Because you have to deal with the Hawaiian government for your work to be able to maybe start your normal life again, and people able to travel again. I mean, we have, all of us, not really an idea how long it's going to take.
That's true. Those are definitely uncertainties, big time.
Because how can we survive if we not knowing that we can pick up our businesses and our lives again?
I think it's just a matter of time. We're going to all get back to a place of normal living. They have a new cliche they call the new norm. It really irks me when I hear that. It's like, well, who's creating a new norm?
But do you actually think it's going to be normal?
I really do. I sincerely believe it. I think they underestimated the people behind the scene. I think they really underestimated us, the people, we the people, the power that we have, the voice that we have, that the freedoms that we live on, that we choose to live on. I think they underestimated us, and I think that people are really standing up for their rights. And I don't know how it's going in Europe, but I see in America there's a lot of protesting, and it's really great. I love it. I love to see the revolution. Like, people are not conforming. We're not going to abide by this. We're going to stand up and do as we wish. And that's, for me, that excites me. So the passion that's coming into this, and I think it's going to be a time before we get over the hump. But I guarantee you, in my heart of hearts, I do feel we're going to get back to a place of our living freely and doing as we choose. I think they tested the waters against us, and they try to stage this thing, but I don't think they're going to succeed. I guarantee you they won't succeed. We will definitely get back to the lives that we want to live. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but I feel a really positive movement forward on this.
Yeah, because here in Amsterdam, I mean, and I think we are not. We are open since last week, the 11th. Things are starting to open up again, and but also, like, I think this summer we have no tourists because Amsterdam is so small. It's not possible to have the 1.5 meter distance kind of thing, and I wonder how they want to continue this in future, because as you also hear the stories of this coronavirus or a mutation or anything like that, it will come in autumn again, or things like that. So yeah, I wonder how it will all develop, and how life will be, how we find a new balance for us as the normal people. How we will be able to find a new momentum. And being able to do our jobs, and people who actually lost their jobs, how they can find a new balance again, and have a good life as well. I mean, I don't want to say it's a worse or better life before or after, but somehow, I mean, for some people, I think there will be major changes.
Right, definitely. Well, I think the first step is we got to get over this fear of this virus, and I think naturally it's going to dissipate, as the global weather gets warmer, and and also as the antibodies of us we build immune to this virus. They say once a community has 70% antibodies, and we're immune naturally for it, then we win. So it's already in America. They've done a lot of research, and the prediction with a lot of scientists in America is that the big study in California that went on of a few thousand people they tested, over 50% already had the antibodies in them already.
Oh, really?
So I think it's a matter. So if we're collectively, but if we're at that 50% mark, then we're only 20% away from gaining what they call herd immunity. So we're close there. I think our bodies are very smart, and I think we're going to gain that natural habit. And the other side of it is the people are waiting for the vaccine. People will not be relaxed. They don't want to trust their own natural healing potentials. They'd rather think that there's some medicine out there that's going to rescue them. And for those people that will be available, I know Trump and his administration, they're really pushing for it. Right now, it looks like we're going to have something solid by this fall, in place. So once that's in place, and this thing dies, phases out on its own, and we gain natural antibodies. I think once that is off the table, then I think we're going to open up to, reconnect to what we are normally, living to do. So I think it's just a matter of time, but that's how I see it anyways. But those who are devastated by this, and won't be able to recover, we're just going to be creative and be resourceful and just, on a divine plan, everything's happening the way it should be. So there's no accidents in life. So it's just, we're going to have to just be resourceful and just find out where spirit, where God wants us next. And we're going to, be in that next best place. So we have to trust the unfoldment of the divine, that everything is happening as it should, and we're exactly where we need to be doing what we're supposed to do. That's my belief system. And in my business, my business is one of 30 years old, and like I said, we see 40, 50,000, and if it goes away, and that's where it's supposed to be, then I just humbly accept it, and I'll be fine. I have imagination, I have creativity, I have spirit, I have passion. I'll find something else to do. I'm not really attached to that. So I really don't believe it's going to go in that direction. But if it does, I'll accept it, and I'll just realize that, okay, I got to create the next best of me, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that takes a lot of courage and personality, because a lot of people will also be in the victim position and feeling helpless.
True that. Well, that's where spirituality comes into play. If you have a connection with spirit and yourself, you always have a rescue team on your side, and you can never fail. Because they will guide you, they will protect you, they will show you the way to your heart. So if I didn't have that communication with spirit, and I didn't feel connected strongly with Source, God, I'd be scared shitless. I'd be like, I wouldn't know what to do. But I have that place of communion with myself and spirit. So it makes me feel strong and connected and guided. And I don't feel like there's nothing out there that no boogeyman's going to come get me and hurt me, because I know I'm infinite, I know I'm divine, and I know I'm loved by the Creator. And for me, that's where I'm anchored in, and that's my truth, and it works for me. So whatever needs to happen outside of me, so be it. I can't control everything, but I can control the love that I feel myself and my connection with spirit.
Yeah, very beautiful. Very, very amazing to hear that. And Vitesha says that it's such a good thing about the lockdown that nature is coming back. Do you notice that as well?
Absolutely. Oh my God. I mean, Japan's only a stone throw away from China. And because the factory, when the wind's blowing in a certain way, we get a lot of that residual pollution in Japan. But I'm looking at the skies now. It's wow, it's actually very clear and blue, and the air is fresh. It's like, so there's, I think Mother Earth needed a break. It's like Mother Earth said, hey, I need to take a breath now. Come on, you guys, give me a break, because we were just like, just jamming. So I feel good that the air is cleaner, and I think we needed a timeout. So
yeah, it's actually like a welcome reset for Mother Nature.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually for ourselves to think about what you have.
Absolutely.
And where you are within yourself.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree anymore, sister, for sure. So it's a good time for all of us, but choose the path within, and you cannot fail.
No, I believe the same.
Absolutely.
So Richard, I want to really thank you for this talk. It has been an amazing talk. It's very animated to talk to you.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have to be connected. But time is sort of up because people have to go back to their home offices. I mean, that's why So thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much, Richard, for your insight and your courage and your power to share that we have a voice, and that we shouldn't forget that we can stand up, even towards bigger organizations and things, that if we just show ourselves what is important to us. And this, I think, is a very important message, that we don't get pushed around, and that if we really are in a place of what is important for us, that if we take courage, we don't have to be aggressive, but by taking the courage to just stand up and use our voice to say, to not let our freedom be taken away from us. So thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow will be the healing transmission, and it will be our last one. It will be in Spanish, and Friday will be the last Qigong practice for the series of this Corona time to support you. And as I said before, I will upload talks and videos, and there will be some open meetings. So if you're interested, go to gulsje.com to subscribe, so you always know when there's something coming up. And thank you again, Richard, for this amazing talk. And
thank you.
Keep being out there, all of us, connecting the light.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
So have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.